All right, the next card you have is your immediate future. So over the next few weeks and throughout the month of December, you have the Six of Wands, which is about a victory, overcoming something, achieving something. But this is big achievement. If you're single, this is like you're achieving some sort of like, this is, you have been waiting for this person to come into your life. You have been waiting to get out of the single pool. And guess what? You are going to be out of it at some point in the next, 2 to 3 months. You're going to be moving on and you're just going to be vibing really well. And it's like completing a cycle. The Six of Wands is saying, look, you're going to be feeling victorious. Like I got out of this single dating pool I never thought I'd get out of. The Six of Wands is saying, look, be proud of this. Be proud of all you've achieved. But this is somebody like you can take home to mom and dad. This is somebody that you're going to want to flaunt. This is love. This is love that you're going to feel confident in and brave about, that you're going to want to be able to show off to the world. And this is somebody who's going to make you feel on top of the world. They're going to put you on a pedestal, but not in a bad way to where you can't live up to it. But it's something really deserving, like somebody who's going to see all the good qualities in you and just make you feel amazing. If you're looking to reconcile, this is also some sort of small victory. It's almost like you've wanted this person to contact you. You've wanted to contact them. You've wanted this for a while, but you've kind of let it go to the wayside because you were just like, hey, it's not working. And Taurus isn't generally the person to sit there and pine over somebody over and over. You're going to stick your head in other things like work, kids, taking care of other things, living your life. The one thing about earth signs is when they break up, yes, they can be hurt very badly, just like every other sign can, but they don't harbor and wallow in it as much as like, let's say Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio would. They engulf themselves in other things. Now, it doesn't matter which way is healthier, to wallow in it or to ignore it, but that's just how it works for some signs where it's easier for them to take their mind off of it than to sit and dwell on it. So it's very interesting with the Six. It's almost like you've been wanting this, but you haven't paid attention to it. And now that it's kind of in your face, you're going, I've been wanting this. I just haven't been putting too much energy into it because I've been focusing on other things. The next card you have is your external. So anything that happens going on through the month of December that's external. So anything throughout the month, it could be a day, it could be 5 days, it could happen in the beginning, middle, end. Anything that's kind of tangible that's going to go on in your love life. And you have the Seven of Cups. This is about temptation. So I'm going to heed a suggestion if you're dating. If you do want the lovers and you want the lust and you want all of that included, but you want somebody going on the same path with you, you want somebody who's in balance with you, you want somebody who fits in your life amazing and is just, somebody who builds you up instead of putting you down. All of the amazing positive things about meeting somebody that could be a potential mate, you need to watch this card because this is saying, look, there's some major temptation here. There might be people who are coming in saying, I love you. I want you. You're amazing. But be careful. I'm just heeding a warning here because Seven of Cups says, look, you're going to have some choices here, Taurus. You're going to meet some amazing people. You may even feel like you could love like 3 people that you've met or that you could move on with 3 people that you've met. But some of it's wishful thinking. Some of it is going to be, somebody's going to be feeding you all the story, everything you want to hear. And you've just got to watch it. It's almost like because the universe has been really making things seem very positive, or throughout the month of December, you may start noticing things happening where you're just kind of like, wait, what's going on? But it's good. This is saying, make sure that you listen to your instinct too, because you're going to be open to a lot of different choices. And if you put out lust is what you're going to get back. If you put out a friends with benefits vibe, that's what you're going to get back. Now, if you want that, great. Then that's what you need to put out there. But for a lot of you, you don't. And this is saying, look, if you say, if you start a physical relationship on the first date and then wonder why a week later they don't take you seriously in like a boyfriend-girlfriend aspect, I know it can happen. Trust me, I know plenty of people. But there's certain relationships you haven't been satisfied in. And so you've just got to be careful that you're not moving back into those relationships because there is some sort of temptation. And I don't know why I'm being told to tell you this, but just be careful too on there are some people out there who are willing to use and abuse you if you're willing to, like, money wise, just, yeah. So just be careful, because there may be somebody out there who is trying to take advantage of you because you seem to be in this like more accepting, more open to love state. So just be careful. Nothing negative. It just means, you know, watch the temptation a little bit. All right. If you're looking to reconcile, there's like major choices here too, because there is some sort of temptation for you. Like, make sure if you guys start getting back together, or, okay, let me preface it this way. If you're interested in getting back to your ex and having a physical, getting back with your ex and having a physical relationship, then go for it. But if that's all you guys can muster and there's nothing else to build on, understand that that's where it will stop. You will have the physical, you will have the amazing, you know, kind of like, you know, when people fight and then they make up and they have the great makeup, you know, whoopee or whatever. Like, and I called it whoopee because I got flagged for saying sex so I feel like I'm in, you know, 4th grade because I just spelled it out. But I prefer not to get flagged over using that word. I hear people drop F-bombs. I've done it and not get flagged. And then you say, you know, that and whatever. So we'll keep it as whoopee. But if you guys get back together and there's a lot of lust and there's this, you know, temptation and this desire, just make sure that you're ready for, if that's all it's going to be, that's all it's going to be. If you guys don't sit down and have a conversation about what you both want, you may end up in just a lustful fling for the next couple of weeks, but no problems were worked out. Therefore, the relationship doesn't grow. The next card you have is anything internal. This is external. This is internal that you'll be feeling throughout the month of December. It could be, again, the middle, the beginning, the end, 1 day, 10 days, etc. And you have the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups is somebody who's doing things innocently. And so that ties into this very well, because if you're dating, may have been a while since you're dating. You may not know how to read the bullshit flags. You may not know how to read the red flags anymore. So you're kind of believing and trusting in what people are telling you instead of being more cautious like Taurus normally is. And so this may come into play where you're like, oh, he or she likes me so much and they would never hurt me. Just watch that, because you don't want to be naive either. Taurus is definitely not naive. But you're going to be playing on the edge of emotions. And it's very interesting because this is a water sign card, which is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and they generally tend to play on their emotions. So you just got to make sure you have this balance and you have this self-control that, yes, it's okay to believe that they really do care about you, that they possibly love you or whatever. But it's also very important that you don't let your emotions run with everything, because Taurus can't tend to turn it on and off the way some signs can. You work so hard and you're so diligent that when you turn on the romance and you turn on that love button, sometimes it gets carried away, which nothing wrong with that, but it doesn't necessarily mean you'll make the right choices or you'll meet the right people. However, you're going to nip anything like that in the butt because you have this temperance and this. And it may just be that you're having fun feeling that love again. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. It just means make sure you're putting out there what you want to get back. If you start with the lust, you may end with the lust. If you're looking to reconcile, the Page of Cups, somebody's pregnant. So there may be some sort of pregnancy here that maybe you guys are reconciling based on that. Maybe you're just going to wash everything out of the window because somebody's having a baby. But this for you is also, this is like wanting to just start over. This is wanting to pretend that nothing bad happened, that, you know, you guys have it all figured out, and that you can kind of, you know, wash everything. It's like water under the bridge, but that's not possible. So again, make sure that you don't let the temptation and the lust and all of that get carried away unless you're willing to have a relationship based on that. Yes, you can get together and have makeup, whoopee, or whatever. But if that's all the relationship's based on the next 2 months, that's all you come together for, then don't be surprised if the big stuff that happened originally in the relationship end up getting thwarted and don't getting discussed and rearing its ugly head again 2 months from now. The next two cards you have are any hopes and fears. So this is towards the end of December. This is how you're feeling internally at the end of the month and your outcome. Okay. So for your hopes and fears, you have death and you have the King of Pentacles for your outcome. So death is actually an awesome card. I like death. And the reason I like it is because it's rebirth. It's a transformation. It's revelation. It's starting anew. It's an entire change in your life. So if you're dating, this definitely tells me that what you're looking for is something positive. You're looking for this balance. You're being patient about it. You want this Lovers, but you want to do it right. You know what you're looking for. You want to move this Chariot forward. You want to know that you guys are moving in the same direction. You want somebody who's like-minded and wants this, but you also know that in order to get it, there's certain things you have to change. There's certain things that you have to understand. And viewing the way you think about love and viewing the way that you deal with emotions is something that you want to change. You also want to change your single status. A lot of you want to be in a relationship, or at least in a committed dating relationship, you know, or move on to eventually moving in with somebody, or those things later on down the line. And so some of you are, you know, changing things about your life to make those possibilities happen. Very big here, because there's a lot of big steps going on. There's a lot of things that it's like a rebirth of just Taurus in general, just your love life in general. And you can feel it. You can feel the change coming. You can feel this person coming into your life who's going to be moving in the correct direction. This lover who's going to sweep you off your feet and have this compromise and balance in your life that you normally wouldn't really try to have with anybody. But this person's going to be different. There's something here that's going on. It's going to be magical. Like, I say it like that, but it's true. Just kind of plop them right in front of you, and it's going to feel almost magical to some of you. It may not happen for all of you like that, but for some of you, it will feel like that. If you're looking to reconcile, again, there's something going on with child, because this card has, you know, pregnant belly, but so for some of you, it may be a child coming in. It may be that you guys have a child together, and that may be what's forcing the reconciliation. And not in a bad way. I don't want to say forcing, like, because you've practically willed it and they've practically willed it. But there's definitely something, you know, bigger than yourself going on here. But this, again, like I'm saying, is some sort of change that has to happen. If you come in as the lovers only, those changes won't come about. And you're sitting here going, okay, I want to be with you, but we need a rebirth of our relationship. And gosh, I really think somebody's pregnant. Or maybe your ex got somebody else pregnant. There's somebody's having a baby, but there is this possibility of reconciliation, this transformation of your relationship. But again, if you're minding these temptations and whatnot and really thinking about what needs to come to the forefront. All right. And you end with the King of Pentacles as your outcome, which is the end of the earth sign cycle. And you are an earth sign. So that would make sense. Somewhere here, there's some major things coming to fruition. And I'm shuffling your clarifying cards as I talk about this last card. So the King of Pentacles is somebody who is competent and looking for stability. So if you're dating, you're going to find this stability that's moving in the same path, that's going to be about balance. The King is all about balance, but this is also somebody who's about business. This is somebody who's about confident. So somewhere in the end of December and the next, 2 months after, you're going to be finding this balance or compromise with somebody where you're willing to let them into your life. You're willing to balance work, love, kids, all of that, which Taurus doesn't generally do unless it's somebody really wanting to do that. And I feel like at the end of the month, you've kind of got your ducks in a row, because this is also about business. So this is about, making money and making things flow. And I think things are just going to balance really well in your life. Like, you don't even have to make room for this person. They all already just kind of start fitting into the flow of your life. It's like you thought you'd never have time for anybody, and all of a sudden you have an abundance of time to spend with this person because they're worth it to you. If you're looking to reconcile, there is some sort of stability coming here. There is some sort of even keel. So even if you guys just pick up the phone and start talking, even if you meet once, a week to get to know each other again, some of you could be somebody that you've been wanting to reconcile with for months. Some of you could be somebody that you haven't seen or heard from in months or a year. But there's definitely something coming to the forefront, making it feel like the relationship is, there's something to be happy about here. There's almost like a wealth of positive vibes surrounding this, if that makes sense. But you're also going to be treating it kind of like a business. Like, I won't get caught up in all the drama and the chaos that we had before. So we need to really, set some ground rules if we're going to work this out and make it happen. Okay, so the 2 cards you have for your clarifying You have the Queen of Cups over the King of Pentacles. So the Queen of Cups clarifying your outcome for the month is very interesting because she fits perfectly for the beginning of your month, coming into the month. The Queen of Cups is somebody of mystery. This is of otherness, spirituality. This is something bigger than you. And Taurus, for whatever reason, your spirit guides are around more. You're like, the universe is listening because the Queen is saying, look, things are going to happen that are out of your control. Again, like I said, against your will. Maybe not the best way to put it, saying against your will, but definitely something's going to be coming to fruition where you're going to realize, like, where did all this come from? I mean, this just kind of fits in my life. Like, it's been a puzzle. Like, it's a piece of my puzzle that I've been waiting for a long time. And you're not even going to ask questions. You're just going to kind of let it go as a mystery and assume that God or whoever you believe in or the universe or spirits, that they just have your back and it's your turn. If you're looking to reconcile, there's going to be some sort of otherness to this as well, which again, I know I've said pregnancy, but that may have something big time to do with it. Or your ex comes and says, look, we talked about having kids and getting married and I didn't want that. And now I can't picture doing it with anybody else. So I want you back. There's going to be some sort of mystery surrounding why you guys connect too. Maybe, you know, you hadn't thought about contacting them or you were like, I'm not going to. And then you hear, oh, they had a car accident. And you're like, I have to contact them. Or there's something else going on at play here for you as well if you're looking to reconcile. Something bigger than yourself that you're gonna, if you're meant to reconcile or if you're at least meant to talk again, it's gonna happen. Whether you pick up the phone or whether they do, I feel like there's gonna be something else at play here that's gonna make it happen. The card you have for clarifying your outcome or your distant future is actually one I really like a lot. So the Page of Swords is clarifying your temperance, which the Page of Swords is about figuring out what you want in life and learning what makes you happy and then seeking it out. So this is you saying, okay, this person makes me happy, but what do we have in common in life? Where are we going together? It's like writing your own book together. So you like, okay, because how I was talking about here, where maybe you dated people of a certain stature or you had certain expectations because that's just how you've always wanted things. You came from no money or you came from a lot of money or whatever it was, or you came from parents who didn't love each other. Whatever it was that you wanted to be completely opposite of, this Page of Swords is saying, look, you're just opening the book with somebody and saying, let's write our own future. I have no expectations from you other that you're genuine with me, you're upfront and honest with me, but let's write our own story and not force it, not make things happen, or push things in a direction. Like, let's let the universe play out what they have in store for us and let us write, you know, our book going along with that. If you're looking to reconcile, this is clarity. This is you getting some sort of clarity, either knowing why you guys broke up and like it's almost like you knew why you guys broke up, but you didn't understand why it lasted so long, or you didn't understand why maybe they changed their mind in the direction they were going. There's just going to be some sort of truths that come out, and they're not negative. They're just not. It's just going to be maybe somebody says, look, I'm really angry in the fact that you weren't romantic with me, or I'm really angry in the fact that you seem to spend all your time at work, or vice versa. Whatever it is, this is you also rewriting your story. So you learning more about what they need. They'll learn more about what you need. And together you guys can also write, you know, pages in your history book. I think reconciliation is actually very positive for you here, Taurus. But, you know, you are going to have to figure some things out. And again, if you get back together just to whoopee, then, you know, if that's what you put into it, that's what you're going to get out. But you guys can do that and still have, you know, logical conversations about what you both want and where you're going.